your headphones on, please.
I really don't like doing
No,
that.
you have to.
I don't have to. You can just tell me if it's not good.
You don't have to.
You have
hate
to.
I don't think you do.
It really it jams me up conversation.
Really?
I
Why?
I have actually come to really like it, but that's because I'm full of myself and I love my own voice.
Really?
No, but I just was going off of you saying that it throws you off because you don't like your own voice.
Well, it's not even that I don't like my own voice. I don't want to hear. I like.
You know
to
what?
hear
Now that
guys
I can hear it, now that you're talking, I get why you wouldn't want to win. It's friendly fire. Get it?
Trying to get me booked on this podcast.
There we doing the monster voice.
You gave him the monster voice. You have no idea you're in monster voice because you don't have your headphones on.
Don't give me monster
That's
voice.
so funny, dude.
Give me God voice.
That is kind of God. That sounds like God.
Keep me on monster voice.
It sounds like, you know, when people go like biblically accurate version of like an angel. That's like the same thing. It's just 1,000 eyes. It's the same thing with monster voice, really. It's biblically.
I don't know what you're talking about. Biblically accurate version of an angel.
When like Archangel Gabriel is described, it's not like a handsome guy with locks and big feathery wings. No, it's like a creature. It's like an amorphous creature with like 1,000 eyes, and it's like very psychedelic and crazy.
Yeah,
of course it is. It's all based on like people. Like it's all based on people tripping and having experiences with DMT.
This is such an Arrowwood idea. This is so from the Arrowwood vaults.
I don't know what that means.
Were you not an Arrowwood guy?
No, I don't even know. That sounds like you're making fun of me right now.
No. Well,
you think I'm a fucking Arrowwood guy?
When would I do that? It was the big drug form. So when I was doing drugs, you would go on Arrowwood.
Yeah. I was a blue light guy.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Blue light during my drug days was more advice of like, I'm trying to
identify this pill.
No, that was easy. You just type the shape, the color, and the print.
I've been on those before.
But blue light will be it. But blue light is a little bit more specific, where it's like, I'm trying to shoot black tar heroin. How do I do it? And it was a forum of people being like, well, first you're gonna want cotton, you're gonna want a reservoir, you're gonna want water and a lighter. Like they would like.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're gonna be shooting black tar heroin.
Today we're shooting black tar heroin. Remember to hit that like and subscribe button before you nod off.
Stay tuned if you guys want to figure out how to make enough money. I'm going to be showing you guys how to strip copper wire from your parents' belongings.
Yes.
Oh,
very
shit.
DIY.
This is sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Biblically accurate anything is like crazy. Well, it's also like the have you ever read Dante's Inferno?
When I was in high school, yeah.
Okay, there's the whole the devil when he appears for the first time. It's built up to you go through the layers of hell, and then like the 7 layers of whatever it is, and then at the end he's just a frozen statue.
He's wearing a pinstripe suit. He's a corporate banker. Slick back hair.
You've probably wondered why I called you here today.
His name's Lucifer.
Lou. So that's funny.
The Cifa Corporation.
So it's just the end of Dante's Inferno. He's just a statue.
Can you Google Dante's Inferno devil?
Will you Google a picture of that book real quick?
Will you also? Yeah.
Hey, can you go movies123.com play the Da Vinci Code real quick?
So basically, spoiler alert: if you haven't read,
if you've never read Dante's Inferno,
Frozen. So it's this whole buildup, and then he's a beast, but it's just frozen.
Yeah,
just not even.
It's
doing anything.
It's sort of the whole. The devil you know versus the devil you don't. You know, it's like you get so worked up about the notion of Satan.
Yeah.
And in reality,
right,
it's just a bird. He's just frozen. He's not anything. It's your fear.
Clothes under your bed,
brother. It's the fear of the unknown that's triggering.
It's the coat on the coat hanger in the corner.
Yes.
Yeah. Right.
I've been reading books again, so yes, I'm in.
Ooh, what are you reading?
I've just finished a memoir called Running with Scissors.
Oh,
it's really good.
Yeah.
What if he was like Cat in the Hat? I'm checking.
I've been reading Seuss.
I'm getting into his later work.
I'm 4 volumes in. I'm really interested to see what's going on with these eggs and ham.
I got to the green.
I wonder what the green symbolizes.
And
the
it's
corporate greed of.
It's all racism.
It was Wicked.
Yeah.
I just watched Wicked last night.
Oh,
the movie
really?
in the theaters?
Yeah, it was fun.
Sorry, what movies have you been reading?
What movies have I been reading?
Yeah, what other things that have been adapted to movies have you been reading?
I didn't even mean for it to come out that I just misspoke, but that is such a condescending.
Yeah.
What other things are you acting like you've read because you've watched the movie?
Yeah.
What other books on the cover that says
I read 5 Harry Potter books in one day.
I read all the Hobbit. I read that.
Well, what I'm reading right now is called Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance.
Is that good? I've always wanted to read that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
This is going to be a boring topic, but the intro of it. It's been out for so long that there was a lot of misconceptions about it after its popularity. In the intro, he elaborates on some things that actually make you look forward to what it's going to turn into more. But it's just, I'm like 7 chapters in. It's not like gripping, but it's just like intriguing.
What's it about?
Well, right now it's the story of a dad and his son on a motorcycle trip with 2 of their friends also on a motorcycle trip across country. And it's like that. But it's starting to introduce this weird thing. He keeps talking about Phaedrus, which is like this old Greek, like I don't know if it's like if he was like a philosopher or what he was, who was like, but it's weaving it in really weird. I'm interested to see where it goes, but I don't have any more gripping details about it just yet. So gotcha. I'm sorry.
You know, I didn't even know it was a novel. Yeah, I thought it was like a no.
It was sent to me with that kind of idea when I first got sober. A family friend. Her husband has been sober for like decades and was like, this book helped me a lot when I first got sober, and he sent it to me. And I first got sober 8 years ago, but I'm just now getting around to it. So nice, yeah, it's good. He'd be happy to hear that.
You know what author I got embarrassingly into is Nicholas Sparks.
Would you read Safe Haven?
The Notebook author?
The Notebook author, yeah. I read, what was that? Did you just smell the Zen?
It was gum.
Oh. I thought you smelled Zen.
I thought you opened while you were on camera to not derail the pod.
I thought you opened it up and went.
I was trying to get, because you were about to talk about the gay books you were reading.
Yeah, I watched it. I read he had a book about his brother. And that I got like, for some reason, I was in like 6th grade and I read a lot of Nicholas Sparks. There's a book called The Brother and it was about him.
Wait, have you read The Notebook?
Shut up, dude.
Brother,
no. Yeah, dude, I did.
I gotta tell you.
When I was in like 7th grade.
I bet it's a great book.
Yeah.
I could see it being a good
book. Dude, he wrote a ton of like the movies that they adapted, or he wrote a ton of books that they adapted into movies. I think The Notebook. What else did he write? He wrote
Safe Haven. I remember when
that sounded like the monster voice. Just a burp.
I tried to do it out of the mic, and I realized I was way too close.
We all know what it sounds like, and you know that's it. No, I went and saw Safe Haven when it came out, and I went with this girl, and we got really drunk before the movie.
Such a sick move,
dude.
Such a young kid.
Such a young kid move, just getting trashed on Rainier beers. It's like a Washington brand beer. It's like our Lone Star, and then we went in, and then she just was drunk crying in the movie theater because it's about an abusive ex. And she had an abusive ex. And it's just like me sitting there with this girl at like a 3 p.m. movie, hammered.
You were
and
just
just
holding the popcorn box.
Yeah. And she's just crying about her ex.
Yeah, are you sure you're not hungry?
You just like really wanted to finger this girl in the movies, and she starts bawling, crying.
Well, also she's bawling, but I'm drunk with snacks. I'm just like.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh fuck. Yeah.
Just
I got drunk before the first Avatar movie. In the first Avatar, it was like the beginning of the 3D experience. Yeah. So I had the glasses on. I had 3 Steel Reserve tall boys beforehand. I just got drunk. Like when you're a kid, you just kind of get drunk like homeless people get drunk. You drink like Mad Dog. You drink tall boys. I would buy the 40 ounces, not of the like malt liquor, not of why can't I think of the brand? Whatever. The like classic malt liquor. But we would buy like the big glass bottles of like Bud Heavy, like and just drink like 1 or 2 of those and just be fucking shit faced.
Drinking 40s behind a tree.
Yeah, just in a park. In your parking lot.
Around downtown.
We had a place in OKC called the Duck Pond, and it was literally just a park. And there was a little pond by there, but like it was just a place we would all go and park and just drink in our cars.
Yeah.
And then we would and there was a Taco Bell right down the street. We'd drive and they used to have a $5 box at Taco Bell that'll never be beat. It was a cheesy gordita crunch. It was
best thing on the menu.
It was
my favorite.
It's one of the tops.
Yeah.
There was a burrito that had spicy Fritos in it. That was gas. Mm-hmm. And then I want to say it had a Crunchwrap Supreme in it. 3 of the top things that Taco Bell's ever done.
God, I love Mexican food.
Yeah. Don't you love authentic Mexican food?
I love
Josh?
Oaxacan food.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the cinnamon twists, which are my favorite Oaxacan pastime foods. And it was like actually $5. I had 3 of them in one night once.
Just drunk as shit.
Just drunk, high.
Dude, that hangover has to be brutal.
Mid-grade weed out of a 1-hitter.
Yeah,
resin.
Just tastes
one
like
of those
shit.
Those cigarette 1-hitters that would get hot as fuck and burn your lips. You hit that
And
like
people be
3 times.
They have no idea. You take one hit and you pack another. Like it's a musket. You have to fucking jam it in.
It's funny because you're like a 16-year-old and you're like lighting the front of it like in your car. Like nobody will ever know.
A crack pipe disguised as a cigarette.
It literally
no one has any idea.
Yeah, you're behind the dumpster at work trying to be like, the boss has no idea. You
also,
walk
no
in
concept for moderation, so it's not like now where like somebody will take a hit and then like put it out and go back in. You're just loading one after another.
Dude, we would share. It would be like 4 of us in a car sharing it, and by the time it got to the 4th person, it would be red hot, and they would just have to burn their lips just to get one ashy hit
Nasty
of weed.
little
I remember arguing. This is such a when we first started smoking, it was so funny. When I was like 14, we thought it was so cool to have like the green hit. So we would get so like into like, no, you had it last time, and then Jeremy had it, so now it's my turn, and you know it's my turn.
Tip nugs. Dude, that's a tip nug. Like that was better where it's the tips. It's like conical.
Well, that's
so funny when you're like 14.
Yeah, like in a big bowl, and you take like if you had weed, the top one, you'd be like, yo, that's tip nugs.
Or what about when you put you get the keef out of the bottom?
The meeting of elders. The council comes together.
We brought you here today because we think you finally deserve the tip nug.
Yeah, you deserve the tip nug out of this bong shaped like a squid.
One of the handles is broken off on, but
bring me the ceremonial pickle Rick bong.
This has been in my family for 2 generations. My brother and his brother, 3 of our brothers, have all smoked the same bad weed from the same guy.
Just the nastiest. Yeah, we made a kid drink. We had that my brother had a putrid bong, just black bong water.
Nobody ever. When you're young, you don't have the necessary tool. You buy a bong and then you're young and you live with your parents, so you can't take it inside to wash it. You're not gonna buy rubbing alcohol to clean it, so it just fills with just disgusting filth.
It's this, like soot. It's soot-like. And I remember I got this Filipino kid so high on ecstasy named Dino, and he was rolling so hard, like we like overdosed him on ecstasy. Like he wasn't anywhere. He was immobilized by fizz. And then I was just like, I just kept bothering. I was just like, yo, I'll give you another pill if you drink that bong water. And then finally he did. And he chugged. I just meant for him to like take a sip because it'd be funny. And I was trying to embarrass him in front of girls. And
I was trying to assert my dominance.
So sinister when you're like 15 because that matters so much. You know what I mean?
Yo, watch how I'm gonna like punk my dear friend.
Watch how this rumor's gonna start.
I'll never forget. He was wearing a white shirt like this, and it was just black, was just running down his face. And it's like, it's not like he liked these girls too. He was just like too high and wanted another pill. Yeah. And I was like, you'll get it if you drink this bong water. And then he just got like black teeth, black like spots all down his shirt. And it's one of the hardest I've ever lived.
That's a pastime for sure. I mean, some adults still do it. But like where you just like, it's like if I can put my boy down, I'm not going to bring myself up by being a good guy.
Right.
But if I put everybody else down in front of the chicks, I'm the guy. I'm the guy who gets to finger them later.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're all fizzed out.
Yeah.
We're all on ecstasy. Did you ever do K2 or any of the fake bake shit?
No.
Good for you.
Missed out.
Did you?
Yeah, we've talked about this a couple of times because when your friends go on like probation when you're like 15 and 16. They have to take drug tests, so everybody we smoked
Spice.
Yeah, we'd smoke Cloud 9,
K2, Cloud 9, K2. Mr. Smiley was one.
I never had that one.
It was
just
intense.
Synthetic weed where you basically just fucking. I mean, I never once enjoyed it, but I thought it was cool that I was smoking it. You know what I mean? I was like, everybody was like, Jack's on probation, so we can't fuck her. And then we'd hit
can't
it.
fuck around.
You guys are all inhaling like the gas from Scarecrow and Batman.
Yeah,
exactly.
You
just fucking seeing your worst nightmare.
It's just like I don't know. When I did it, every time my vision got so fucking like. I don't even know how. I got like tunnel. I think it was just full on panic attacks. Where I was like, every time I smoke this, I get really bad tunnel vision. It was just me being like,
calling my panic every time. We did it because my school randomly drug tested. So most of us smoked that during it. Well, I went to a private school, so it was and so we were all doing that, which was objectively way worse for us. The first time I did it, I had my buddy sleeping over. I took a couple hits out of it. He didn't smoke it. I went back inside. I started freaking out. My mom came downstairs just to check on us, you know, and then she could tell something was wrong with me. And I was like, oh yeah, my stomach hurts. And within like 10 minutes, I was like, couldn't open my eyes and I was like twitching. And my mom had to like take care of me all night. My heart was beating. I was like twitching.
Did she know what it was?
I think eventually I told her, but I don't think she knew. She just knew I took something.
Gotcha.
And it was like, dude, it was awful. And then the next time I did it, I was in a car down the street from this house party. We were hotboxing it. We smoked it out of a blunt, which was way
That's
more.
another young person thing of like, dude, let's get this car smoky.
Yeah. Bro, one time, that time I freaked out. I jumped out of the car and I sprinted down the street. I sprinted down the street back to the house party thinking that would calm me down. Walked into a house full of people and freaked out even more.
But you know what will calm me down? This house party.
Yeah. This house party where the cops could be here any moment.
Yes.
Yeah. The hotboxing thing, I had a Suburban, a big ass fucking Suburban.
I drove my mom's Suburban.
And I loved that car, but I was like, let's hotbox this. But we didn't have weed or anything. Me and my buddy Mike just smoked Philly blunts. The full cigar, no weed,
so
nothing else.
Philly
just
cigars.
a Philly, just a
so
Philly
cool.
cigarillo.
Yeah,
and
dude,
we just
a couple Oklahoma bosses.
Yeah, just smoke, and we just smoked like 3 each in this car. My car smelled for like a month.
Yeah.
It was just we just smoked cigars in there. It was
the first time I actually like got high. I smoked weed a couple of times prior, but then this was the first time that I like felt it, like I inhaled properly. It was also the first time I used a pipe, so I think there's a correlation. Before then, it was a bunch of joints, and I think I was just doing the fucking fake puffs on accident. I just didn't know what to do.
Yeah,
and so I'm at my buddy's house, Dillon, Lincoln, and we're smoking. I take one hit, and he had like what did they call it? We called it a boof. I don't think that's the right thing.
That's when you put something up your ass.
Boof is when you put something in your ass. Yeah. I know what you're talking about when you fill a paper towel roll full of dryer sheets.
Yeah.
Those. We call it the boob tube.
Boob tube.
Really close phonetically. That's interesting.
It's very alliteration almost of them.
Bizarre.
And so we hit that. I hit the pipe, and then I pass it to him, and I'm blowing into it, and then I'm like I feel like as I'm pulling my hand down, I'm like feeling it, and I'm like, this is weird. Yes. I don't like this. Brittany Sanchez is there too. And I turn, and I know.
Dirty Sanchez herself.
Dude, B. Sanch. And so she hits it too. They're both cool. I'm now like, it comes back around to me, and I remember grabbing the pipe, going to hit it, and grabbing, like I hit it and I put the pipe down and I go to blow the second one, and now my vision's like kind of skippy. I don't know what else. I'm just like full on panicky again.
Yeah.
And I freak out. I go, Dillon, I need milk. And so he's like, I got you. So he goes and gets me a glass of milk. And then I go to drink it, but I'm so fucked up, I knock the milk over and I spill it all over his laptop in front of Brittany Sanchez. And I knock it over. I spilled milk.
And no, you didn't cry over it, did you?
Nah. And so I spill milk all over this laptop, and he's cool about it. He's the man. He's like, not a big deal. I'll go get it. He gets a towel, cleans it up, turns the laptop on. Everything's fine. And I'm like, dude, I'm so sorry, but I need another glass of milk. So he goes and gets me another glass of milk, and then I knock it over and I spill it on the laptop again. And then he was like, you can't be here.
He was asking for glasses of milk to spill on his laptop. I need a glass of milk. Yo, thank you, brother. All right, cool, thank you. Oh my God, I was freaking out for a second. I was looking at your laptop. It didn't have any milk on it. I was like, oh, this dry ass laptop. I can't eat that. How am I going to eat it when it's this dry?
I'm going to soak in milk. Yeah. Dude, my little brother... My brother is not a weed smoker. He's 24 or something now, and he doesn't smoke weed, but he did in college one time. And there's this thing, and this is a real thing. If you get too high on weed, if you take whole peppercorns and you put them in your mouth, there's something about the oils, like the terpenes of a peppercorn, that will interact with what the terpenes of the weed, whatever, and it'll calm you down.
The terpenes?
Terpenes are the oils that like weed releases, and other plants also have them. And so somewhere in translation, that got turned into my brother freaking out after a bong hit and being like, I need to snort black pepper. So he snorted so much. He sneezed for like a week. He had he snorted so much black pepper, and he's like, "This isn't working."
That can't be good for you at all.
No, dude.
Think about the people you're smoking with. Were just like, he's a fucking maniac. He's like, let me show you how I smoke.
Just a bong rip and immediately.
Oh God, that's good. He's like, whoa, that's pure.
That's pure. Yeah, he puts. He's just using it.
Oh no, that's raw.
He's like tasting it.
I would love to have some because I imagine I can see you smoking. You smoked like I smoked, a little spoon pipe. I imagine you smoked like a black guy. I imagine you would hit it and you go.
Yeah. Oh, you ain't wrong.
He'd do this. He'd push some out, stuck it back in, push it back out again, double it.
I could still. I haven't smoked anything like a real like smoke since I got sober. I promise you, if you gave me, I could do the whole. I could do the French inhale. I could do the ghost hit where you blow it out, you suck it back in. I almost strictly smoked only blunts for like years of my life, like just Swisher blunts. I loved it.
Dude, I tried so hard to learn how to do the French inhale. And then I found out that it's so hard for me because I have such an overbite. That like,
bro, hold on, double door. I mean, trying to do something like that and then also not being able to because your skull shitty is so bad.
I realized in order for me to do it, I had the French bulldog. I had to stick if I wanted, which then eliminates looking cool. The whole point of it is to look cool. But then if you go.
You're trying to impress Brittany St. Yo, sometimes I just need it for the stress. You know what I'm saying? Yo, this is a good shit.
Yeah. It is funny because smoke tricks, if you're not really good at them, you just look like an idiot trying to do them in the attempt to be cool. Yeah.
Like a beta fish.
Yeah, dude. Oh man, we all were lame.
Yeah.
Not us. Like
the
population of 16 to 18 or 15 to 18-year-olds trying to be cool while getting high or getting fucked up. We were all losers.
Cabin Fever. Cabin Fever dropped, and it was
Wiz Khalifa's Cabin Fever came out, and I was like, I only smoke joints.
I remember that. Yo, Swish of Sweets.
We only smoke papers now.
Yeah,
dude.
but they don't papers.
No Phillies. That was another day. So he used to go Swish of Sweets, no Phillies, and we were like,
so he went from a blunt guy to only Swisher Sweets to just papers. And then raw papers came on the market, and that's what he smoked, and it was that's all
Game
you could smoke, dude. All you could smoke was raw papers if you want to be a part of the Taylor gang.
Oh yeah. If you want to be
paper planes or die, dude.
If you want to wear camo shorts, Chuck T's, and smoke papers.
Yeah, there you go.
Do it.
I was so we make fun of how bad my tattoos are that I have. Yeah. I'm not kidding, 16 years old in a kitchen, fully ready with a stencil on my arm that had a cross and it had TGOD on it. I was I called my brother who was like,
God.
If you get a tattoo like that right now, I will be so mad and mom will kick you out. You will not have a place to go home to. And then I finally was like, I got snapped out of it. I could be right now a 29-year-old with TGOD, a Blink-182 tattoo, and a Drake tattoo.
Oh,
I wish I had a brother like that to stop me. Have you seen my D12 back piece? Oh, dude, it's brutal. It's brutal. The hardest thing was having to go back and I had to X out proof. And that was so hard.
Oh, man, dude. I can only imagine, dude. That's so crazy, dude. Yeah, dude, that would be bad because we had a show sometime last year earlier this year where a guy was there and he had on like a bomber jacket that was pink and the back was like in script, like cursive, like Taylor gang or die. And it was like a cool jacket. It was a cool enough jacket except for that part. And it was just a thing where it's like, it's 2024, dude. You can't have Taylor gang shit on now. Like, are you telling me you're keeping up with Wiz Khalifa's new projects?
Right.
You know?
Yeah. He was on top.
Or, dude, if I see somebody and they have even like golf.
Oh yeah.
I'm like,
Golf
dude,
Wayne.
you can't be. You're 32. Like, you can't be into.
It's tough.
Raphael Cruz is like, he goes to Camp Flog Gnaw. He wears a Tyler the Creator, and I'm like, you get one more year of doing. Like, you're in that. I get it. It's like very cool and whatever to you, but yeah, I knew somebody who got the OFG TKWA, whatever. The
Future Wolfgang, kill them all.
Yeah. Got that down his side, and he was so pumped about it. And I remember at the time being like,
that's
I mean, this is gonna suck for you.
Really? You remember knowing
I would have been
time-
blinded. I would have been blinded.
At the time, because Tyler, the Creator, was so bad at rapping. I was like,
What?
this is
You didn't like you don't like Tyler the Creator?
no.
Oh.
Not super, but I just mean he wasn't a good rapper. I didn't think that he was going to be. He stayed very culturally relevant. I understand why he gets all the love.
It's very funny.
But at the time, it was like
I get what you're saying.
it was like he had the song where he's eating a cock. I was like, I mean, this is not going to be a thing in 5
a cockroach.
Yeah, this is like
Finish the sentence.
Tyler the Creator didn't start eating cock publicly until the last couple of years. I don't know if you remember that he's gay.
It's so funny too because he was so big because white kids heard him and he was like, I want to rape people, and everyone's like, I can relate to this. I can relate to this.
Yeah. Whoa.
Some fucking kid in St. Louis is hearing it and he's like, G Willikers.
Yeah.
I killed them all.
I always thought it'd be funny to watch a cipher where you got like a bunch of like classic like kind of New York type of like freestyle in the cipher, and then a horrorcore rapper jumps in and just like, I picked out her eyeballs, I ate them, I gutted her through her belly, down her intestines like spaghetti, and they're all just like,
what the fuck?
Well, I was rapping about how my rhyme skills are unmatched. I'm spooky good at the cipher.
I love watching.
I didn't know we were going.
Yeah, what are we talking? What are you eating her eyes?
I didn't know we were. Wait 1 second. I didn't know we could do that though.
I didn't know we could talk about eating
I didn't know we were bringing A stuff.
That's so good.
Yo, I was just working on some new.
I was like a mic.
This is new shit. I didn't even think about it. I love watching a cipher where every single rapper goes, "I'm the best," and then the next one goes, "I'm the best."
Yeah.
And then the third person is like, "These other guys can't fuck with me. I'm the best." And you go, one of you has to figure it out.
And then the fifth person's just Lil Dicky.
Yeah.
Back in the bit with a little dick.
Can I tell you something? I've never liked Little Dicky.
Really?
There was a brief phase when he did, he filmed that music video where he didn't spend any money. He went to people's houses. He went to people's houses. He filmed part of it in front of a music video shoot for T-Pain. Like he just filmed and that went viral. And then there was a little phase of Little Dicky where I was like, okay, the show Dave, phenomenal.
Yeah.
Very, very good. Him as a rapper does nothing for me.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
I really like 2 Lil Dicky songs, and they're his sad songs.
Yeah.
I like his breakup songs.
Some of his songs.
Is it called Molly?
Molly, and then the other one that's called Ali's song.
I
don't like his funny stuff. I
Is
like his
Ali's
sad
song
music.
the one where it's like,
I fucked the whole thing up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so
yeah,
good,
that's from
dude.
the show.
Yeah, yes, it is.
Yeah.
I used to just watch the scene back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember. No, I'm for real.
Hey, you can French inhale because you had an underbutt.
I cried to that show more than once.
Yeah, it's sad.
It's good.
It's a great show.
It's so good.
I think. I mean, I know that isn't it written by Andrew Santino?
I don't know.
I think he's one of the. I think he's a writer.
in it.
I think it's him and Lil Dicky.
Really?
And then obviously they have like structural people. That's what those people, most companies do. I learned that. They go, you guys do the thing, and then we make it work. They figure out.
Yeah, because I always think about like when I watch a show, especially like a crime show where there's like a plot or like something like interesting like that. I go, how did these people think of this and structure it? It's like
there's dorks whose whole job it is to be like structurally does this make sense? Like
it's almost like an algorithm.
Yeah, like
to them.
Danny McBride is so fucking funny. There's zero chance that he did like a ton of this like character development in Righteous Gemstones and Eastbound and Down. Like he doesn't. He's just like, this is super funny. But they're like, but what about driving story? Like what about the C storyline that's driving him to get the jet ski?
Yeah,
and then he's like, I didn't fucking.
Yeah,
it's just funny if I have a mullet and have a jet ski. That's so funny.
Yeah.
Right.
That show is fucking crazy.
It's the best. It might be the best comedy show besides South Park. I think that if we're talking about
Righteous
like
Gemstones.
No. Eastbound and Down. If you're talking about like a live like a live show, I would go Eastbound and Down.
Do you not like it?
I've never watched it, and people have told me, but I don't. The Danny McBride character does nothing for me.
No
I've watched.
way.
Dude, I just rewatched Tropic Thunder. I saw it once when it came out, and I watched it the other night. I was in a rare mood for a comedy, and I watched it, and I was like, I mean, it's a fine movie. It's 0% funny.
Yeah.
Like, there's not one funny part.
I remember
including
watching
Danny
it when
McBride.
I was really, really young.
Yeah.
And that's when it was funny. When it was, like the over the top shit is fun. Jack Black is still funny.
I didn't laugh at all. But then like Honora, that movie Honora, which is like, it's not a comedy, but like those Sean Baker movies, so funny.
Have you seen that?
I'm a little twisted. I like Sean Baker and stuff.
No, come on.
I'm a little dark and twisted.
I'm a little bit more intellectual than listening to Danny McBride
comedy,
talk
you mean
about
the Prestige?
I watched Year One again. That
movie's
holds up.
good,
it's
dude.
so
the one
funny.
with Jack Black and
John or Michael Cera.
Mike Cera.
Really?
Yeah, so good. I just rewatched
It's
that
really
one.
good. There's a couple dark horses. Like everybody will talk about like Step Brothers, The Other Guys, like those kind of movies. That one gets me every time.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll give that
good.
a shot.
It's good. It's silly, but it's good. Michael Cera is brilliant.
Anybody in that camp? I'm like a big fan of that camp. Like I thought the end
Michael
of This Is the End, or what is it? The world. What's the movie?
I like This Is the End. I thought that was fun.
Is that the one where they're all at the mansion?
apocalypse,
Yeah. That one is so good. Michael Cera doing blow and slapping Rihanna's ass is the funniest like out of nowhere scene that happens.
The scene when the world is starting to end and like there's like shit starting to pop off, and Michael Cera comes to the front of the party and is like, "No, who took my fucking phone? Seriously!" And then like the earth falls, like a sinkhole happens, and a pole falls and goes straight through him and basically killing him. And then his phone starts ringing, and he goes, "Oh, that's so fucking embarrassing." It's so
falls through the earth
because we've all been. Everybody has been around or been that drunk person where it's like, "No, seriously, guys, who the fuck took my phone?"
Dude, this is one of those stories that like makes me cringe, which is I went to I got invited to a 4th of July party when I was like 20. I think like 24. I was working at that company, Zillow, you know, that like real estate company. One of my coworkers invited me and the other I worked with a bunch of like hot people in their late 20s. Mm-hmm. That's who everybody was there. I was the youngest there, but also I was like a closeted drug addict. So I was off heroin, but I was still just doing a ton of coke, and I would like smoke crack and shit.
Yeah.
I went to this party. It was so hot. It was so hot, but I was too embarrassed to like. It was all like hot jacked guys in swim trunks at this party, and I was wearing jeans and like a full like button up shirt. Like I was not dressed for the occasion at all. I got way too drunk because I was uncomfortable, and then I pushed a girl into the pool. Forgot that I had pushed her, and then later one of the hot jacked guys went by and pushed me into the pool, and I had my phone in my pocket and it wasn't working, and I threw a hissy fit. Drunk.
No.
Like, no, seriously, who fucking did that? I'm like so like a fucking dork, like a wet
Your
rat.
hair's down.
Like a wet rat. Skinny little pasty wet rat. Just like, seriously, who fucking did that to this party of a bunch of guys I don't know? Finally, the guy goes like, "Yo, I did it." And I was like, "You did that?" And he was like, yeah, I did. I mean, you pushed her, and like I thought we're pushing people in the pool now. Yeah, I pushed you. And then I was just like, "Oh yeah, no, that's what's up." Like,
just fold.
No, I just wanted to know.
Just fold immediately. As soon as a jacked guy goes, "It was me," you go,
yeah.
Bet.
This is our hot, cool jack guy. I was like, "No, I did it because you pushed her." So I thought it'd be funny to push you, and I was just like, no, bet.
No, dude,
funny.
That's
funny.
good shit.
Do you
dude.
have rice though? But that's funny. That is so funny. It was so embarrassing because I freaked out so much that he actually like nobody stepped forward for like 20 minutes, and I was like ruining the party.
Damn.
Because he was like, "Oh shit, this kid's like actually really bad."
Yeah.
And so he was like, "No, don't tell him."
Yeah.
He's like freaking out.
That's so funny.
Humiliating.
I ruined my own party one time. My parents went out of town one time, and we did this thing. It was big. Project X just came out, so we were all like,
"Dude, yes." Okay.
So we were all like, "We're gonna fucking tear down the city." Like anytime anybody's parents went out of their town, we were like, "We're taking the parties to the extreme." We threw a black light party at my house, so we put curtains and like blankets over every window, replaced all my lights with black lights. Dude. And then everybody was wearing like neon shit. My dog at the time had a cone because she had a fucking condition where her leg was like nonstop itchy to her. It was like a psychological disorder where she couldn't stop chewing her leg. So she had this cone, and people were like terrorizing the dog. Like they were they were like taking like the glow paint and like drawing penises on her cone. And I was like, I was like super trashed. And eventually I got to the point where I saw her for the first time. I hadn't seen the dog. I was upstairs and I came down and I see the dog. And so it's like, I mean, it had to have been like 9:40. Like it had to have been going on for like 40 minutes where everybody just got drunk, and then I kicked everybody out, but I was being like a psycho about it. I was like, "No, you guys want to fuck around with my fucking dog? Get the fuck out!" And then I was like, if you don't get out, I'll call the cops on everybody in this fucking place for trespassing. Dude. And then I was like, my dad's got guns upstairs. I was like screaming. and then people were leaving, and then everybody was leaving. But then my neighbor did call the cops, and like 2 guys got fucking public intoxes. And
You're such a rat.
I was so mad at them, dude.
How much trouble were you in at school the next day?
None.
Or on Monday?
None.
People weren't mad at you?
No, because I told them that I found out people were drinking at my house.
No, I didn't mean with
them
the kids. I just meant like, dude, you fucking freaked out and like kicked everyone out.
Well, the good thing was my friends who were my friends stayed, and then everybody else was just like, it was like let's be clear. It was
that summer when Project X came out,
I was kicking out Taylor Aarons. You know what I mean? It's like
Brittany Sanchez. What is Brittany Sanchez doing?
No, shout out to Taylor if you're listening. I don't know if you are, but that'd be weird. That'd be weird if you were.
The summer Project X came out.
He's like a huge fan. I just like shit on him.
Comments first. Can't wait for this to happen.
Can't wait.
Every party was supposed to be one of those.
Yeah, it was supposed to be a theme.
The amount of like group text, remember when you used to be able to forward text message?
Yeah.
Like an email?
Yes.
I would get those all the time, and it would be this big, long, typed out thing of like what field it was in. All of our parties were in fields. Yeah. It was always in a field.
There was always
park here. It was all like
cows.
the Project X party goes down tonight, and none of them were ever even good. Like it was just always like, it was awful.
Did you guys have Night Storm in Seattle?
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I don't.
You might know it. We've talked about this before, but it's like a traveling party for like teenagers.
No, but we did have a teen night at camps, and it was, looking back on it, multiple minors got sexually assaulted. It was not good.
It was like a thing where they would bring in a DJ. There's one guy would DJ. We would go to the fairgrounds, and it would be like, I mean, this was like the big night out. Like
I remember these types of things.
Night Storm happens, and this DJ who's like 28, like too old to be
everybody
DJing.
Gets drunk beforehand.
Yes. But there are still some parents there.
Yes.
Brutal. Just on the periphery.
Yes, and it's people from like, I mean, we're talking like Manly, Iowa's coming in, Swelldale, Rockwell, Mason City.
Wow.
We're getting people from Rochester, Minnesota coming down. It was a big deal. And then you'd get there, and it would just be like a dude who was like 28 with like a faux hawk. Jersey Shore was huge, so faux hawk glasses, tank top in the middle of Iowa's winter, and he'd be like, "Make some fucking noise if you're from Mason City High School." Yeah, and then you're
everybody's drunk on Smirnoff.
Yeah, everybody's drinking their parents' alcohol. I'm fucked up off of my dad's brandy, his fucking blackberry brandy.
Yeah,
that's all I would bring to functions, people, because that's what you did. You used to steal your parents' alcohol, and my dad is like a fucking psycho and only gets drunk off of like brandy. So I'd show up to a fucking event with blackberry brandy. Everybody's like, this is crazy. We're not drinking this.
Everybody's like worried about you. It's like, how is it at home? This is bad. Yeah. The first time I got drunk was I stole from my parents. Yeah.
You have
we had those teen nights, and they were like, looking back on it, or we had like, what was it? We had another one. It was like Robotic Wednesday or something like that. And it was all these like nightclub style parties intended for minors.
Yes.
And looking back on it, it's like, this is crazy. There was this dude named James Vu, who apparently is still kind of a menace in OKC, because he was a full grown adult when this was happening in like 2010. So now he's like an old guy, but he would have like his sick like Nissan GT parked out. Like it was like, he had a bunch of money and he would put these things on, and then like really awful things. Like it was like growing up, and like every once in a while it'd get brought up and people would be like, Olivia got like sexually assaulted at that, right? And I'd be like, Jesus, dude, don't ruin it for me. Dude. That was a fun time for me.
What are you talking about? I kissed Morgan that night.
I got to grind with Kindle. It was like my dream.
Grinding. And that was,
dude.
It's funny because the people who put those on, it's like, you are an adult putting these on, but then also I've watched adults have to do that sort of thing reluctantly. My friend had a birthday, and his mom rented out like a little event space and then hired a rapper. So this isn't like, it's not like this guy like wants to perform for kids. Like he's trying to make it in Seattle as a rapper.
I mean, we can get it. We've all done gigs that we didn't want to do.
But this is exceptionally
who would be great
brutal.
for the bar mitzvah?
Yeah.
Lil Murder.
He was a white rapper, and I remember feeling for him the same sort of deal. We all got drunk beforehand, and it's just a bunch of high schoolers
who are
dancing.
mean, by the way.
Yeah,
drunk high schoolers are mean.
He had to rap a full set. just for like 20 high schoolers.
Man, where the birthday boy at? Make some noise.
No, 100%. He's like, yo, happy birthday, Brandon. Come on, make some noise for Brandon.
Because we want to listen to D4O. We want to shake our Laffy Taffy.
Yes.
We want to hear the songs that we want to hear. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We want to get low in our apple bottom jeans and boots with the fur. We don't want to listen to your brand new EP. You know what I mean? Like
where he's like talking about real shit. He's like rapping about his like addiction, and you're just like, and you're like, you're like 14.
He was a conscious rapper.
Yeah.
He was a conscious rapper.
Of course he was. He's a white guy in Seattle.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, he's a white guy in Seattle. He had that or gore rap.
Disparity.
Yeah.
Fucking dork.
We had when I first started comedy, I was just like trying to do everything I could in this clubhouse, the sobriety clubhouse, which we've actually done shows at, which were super sick. You remember when we did the Triangle Club?
Oh yeah,
they were really good, but that was different because we booked it. It was a show. We sold tickets for it. It was good. But this one was just like an open mic. And it was ran by this guy who was a white sober rapper.
Yeah.
And he opened by doing like 20 minutes of raps, and I'll never forget how because it was a mixed crowd of like old people and young people, and everybody's sober, and they're all kind of there hanging out to watch their friend or whatever. It's like any open mic, except this one, if it's like it's a bringer almost.
Yeah.
The kid at your halfway house goes, I'm going to play guitar. Everybody's like, I'm going to go watch this. You know what I mean? And he went up and did just white rapping about the struggle of addiction and stuff like that. And everybody's like, man, that was deep. Yeah. And then I went up a month into comedy and did a 20-minute set that was filmed. One of my friends, I still have the video.
So there's coming on her face.
You guys will never see it, but my friend filmed it like this, the entire 20 minutes.
We have to watch.
It would take me forever to find it, but one day I'll unleash it. It's rough.
I have my friend. I have a video of my first big gig. By the way, I was almost a similar concept where it was like I was 2 months in. And I got 10 minutes in front of a crowd of like 240 people at my hometown's banquet. Yeah. And my friend held up a video camera and recorded it. And it's the craziest set.
And you probably felt like you murdered.
Oh, I walked out like I'm made for this
shit.
Dude,
I walked off stage. I felt like I did well. And I think if we're being objective, all things considered, it did go well.
Right.
But I walked off stage and an old guy like shook my hand and then like leaned in. He was like, "Don't ever stop. You're meant for this."
Oh, but
it was crazy, dude. Yeah. It was like at the time I was like, yeah, man, that Chief Keef joke really hit for these guys. You know what I mean? Like, really, it really worked. That stuff about how I give myself the best hand jobs. Really crushed these people,
I have a video of me like a year before I ever even tried stand-up because I wanted to do stand-up for years. I like put it off every year and was like, I don't want to. But I would like write jokes. I would record sets into my phone and listen to them back. And one time I was very wine drunk in front of my bathroom mirror, and I wanted to record and hold it there and just see what I would look like on stage. So I practiced one of my sets, and the thing I was working on was about how I'm nicer to Alexa than I am my own girl. Like that sort of thing. It was like one of those act bits. And in the video, it's me wine drunk. My eyes, like one eye's like half closed. I have like a little bloated like wine belly, and I'm doing crowd work in my mirror because I was preparing for crowd work. So I go, yeah. And so I say to Alexa, hold on. It's not going where you think it's going. Let me finish. And I keep going. It's just me in front of my mirror with a stain on my shirt.
That's so good,
brutal.
I used to write. I remember the first show I did at the Triangle Club before we did it. I did one. I booked a couple comics, whatever, and I remember writing like recovery-based crowd work into like out on a notebook to be like, oh yeah, obviously you didn't call your sponsor, like shit like that. Writing out crowd work is such a fucking like just writing every possible beat of what is gonna happen when I get up there is so fun. Recording yourself doing it is next level.
It's crazy.
Hey, if somebody got that video and like. If the FBI got a hold of that, they would be like, if they somehow intercepted it, they'd be like, put him on every list. Yeah. Like, we have to watch to make sure this guy doesn't.
I'm gonna release it as a reel and just see how it does. Experiment,
dude. I think most of us have a set of ours recorded from like the first year, like an embarrassing set. Yeah. Like I have some sets recorded at like the Improv from like these bringer shows we used to do that are like 5-minute sets of me doing well, just doing jokes that I would never normally do now. And I'm a newer comic, and it's like that would be embarrassing. But I'm talking a layer deeper. I'm talking doing 20 minutes at the Triangle Club. I'm talking doing 10 at the banquet in front of 250 people. Or getting wine. Like those being, I would rather somebody be like, this is a video of Matt jerking off onto a mirror. Than somebody be like, this is Matt's 20-minute set. It probably exists.
You've jacked off on a mirror? Do you take requests sometimes?
What do you mean request? Like,
well, like if a lady's like, if a lady's like, my thing is like, I just want to see you come on fruit. Yeah. Would you do that?
That would be crazy.
Well, he doesn't need to hear them say that. He just He just goes.
I can sense the vibe. I go, this bitch wants me to nut on.
He goes. Oh, she shared a story of her performing at an open mic. I know what she wants. I know what that's. She's putting out the bat signal.
You're a motherfucker. I hate him.
A lady who just posted a story of them at the Lucky Duck. Here's a video of me coming on.
Yeah, I know you'll like this. This is me coming on a pear. Yeah.
A pair of tits.
I mean, dude. Cut it out.
They call me the sniper, boys.
Cut it out, dude.
Call sign sniper.
I've never sent like a serious dick pic or coming pic. That's in my life.
Well, I don't know how you'd get a coming pic.
Crazy to me.
Or like
emotion would be very live video of coming would be funny.
That's crazy.
But I've sent Josh a picture of my asshole and balls.
Yeah.
I don't.
Josh Kabaza, by the way, I want to.
Yeah, Josh Kabaza.
I didn't ask
for it. You've gotten something similar, no doubt.
I've seen some stuff that you've sent to Mason. The things you send to Mason James are crazy because he's the perfect target. He's just like a clean little boy.
Yeah. I think men's sexuality is funny. I can't imagine sending it in seriousness remotely. Like if I'm in person, it's like I can be serious in sex. I actually don't like to do bits in bed. I don't like any of that. It's like, let's leave that at the door. But to be like,
I go, oops, you sent me to come me.
I'm like horny and want to take a serious, like, here's my fucking cock. I want to say, I don't have that.
I unfortunately have that.
I know.
Yeah.
You're born with it or you're not. You know what I mean?
I
don't have that dog in me.
There was a point in my life where I just had to go, you're seeking a successful career in comedy, which would mean some level of fame, and it's too late. It's like
you can't do damage control at this point.
For now, all I can do is damage control. All I can do is not send anything too crazy.
Yeah.
But if somebody it's gonna. If I became Matt Rife level famous by the end of next week, no, there's no articles. Articles imply misbehavior. It would just be a thing where it would be like, is that Matt on Netflix right now? Look at this video he sent me 3 years ago, and it's just me jerking off onto a mirror or whatever.
There'd be a piece written.
There's no pieces written.
What are you saying?
No, I'm just saying somebody could easily. There's enough of me out there. Somebody would post it probably.
The Times.
The New York Times. No, I've never done any mischievous things that would
just
end
embarrassing
up
shit.
Just embarrassing things. Yeah. Well, and I mean, I've had that just on a personal level of like, you know, like maybe a girl that like it starts sexual and then years down the line, you guys are just friends. I don't know if you guys have that, but like I have that, and then like
I have the exact opposite.
You actually scroll.
No girl ever goes, I want to fuck him right off the bat, and then gets to know me.
You have to be friends for
I'm
years.
The opposite. I have to earn it.
Yeah.
I have to put in my hours.
but like years later, for like the girl that you're like genuinely friends with to be like, look at this text you sent me a year or like 3 years ago, and it's just like, you're gonna be a good girlfriend. And you're like, cut it the fuck out.
She like has a husband now.
Yeah,
it's horrendous.
Yeah, she has a baby on the way. I'm thinking of somebody specific. Yeah. Yeah. So it's okay. It's just too late for me now.
Yeah. What's the picture? Is there a picture that you have in mind that you've sent that you would be the most embarrassed to have in this article?
No, I don't.
You ever go underneath your face in the photo?
No, I'd never go face in photo. But now I have all these fucking tattoos.
You have so many tattoos.
Yeah.
I have to do the way that Orthodox Jews fuck through a hole in a sheet. That's how I would have to take nudes if I wanted there to be zero evidence of it being.
Do Orthodox Jews do that?
Did I make that up?
Somebody does that.
Somebody fucks through a hole in the sheet. Because it removes the sexuality from procreation is the idea of it's an intense religion.
I don't like that.
That's what they do
with their
significant others.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny because the people
you still
who
saved the best part though. This is the part that makes me the horniest.
Is the vagina?
Yeah. It's
really?
It's the part that feels the best when I'm having sex.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
Sex I'm having.
Yeah. I guess that's always the goal, but I don't know if it's always the thing that actually makes me...
Mentally, it's not the most stimulating, but it's the,
If you know it's the end goal, it's what,
Can you still go down on her through the hole? Can you still spit on that
I don't think that's allowed. I don't think you can hook to a...
You can't still spit on that fucking thing?
I don't think you're allowed to. I think lube is probably illegal in the Orthodox Jewish community.
Probably,
I don't think they could hold up against it.
Yeah, I don't think
they would.
Oh, it's sticky.
Yeah, what, I already come?
It gets the mess everywhere. It doesn't.
Dude, have you ever we were talking about this before we started the pod, but if you're going to talk have you ever talked a big game and then just popped so fast? Have you ever had that where you were sexting with the girl a lot and that tension's building and it's like...
Yeah, I outkick my coverage. You've
caught some fish that your pole couldn't handle.
Yeah. I outkick the coverage, but it's because of the wordplay.
It's because of wordplay. It's because of wordplay. Is so funny.
My wordplay.
I'm just clever enough.
Yeah, flash to Josh is in a bar just being like, what do you do? Oh, that's so awesome. It's just nothing in your face. It's like, no,
it's just in my head that I think nobody,
you're like, no, it's the wordplay. Flash, you just being like, I love the Talking Heads. I saw them in 2014. Best concert of my life. Yeah, no.
I mean, I'm trying to think of every time that I've approached anybody at a bar, it's always very much, I don't come up there like, fuck it. What are you looking at me for? I'm like, I'll come in with this fun line. My favorite one, I used to say, you go, if you scream, I'll kill you. That would be my... I'd go up to you, I go, what are you drinking? If you scream, I'll kill you. I swear.
What do you haven't sucked my cock or I'll kill your parents.
I go look over to the right.
Kids,
you see that camera?
Friends, everyone you know and love.
You see that camera on the right? I cut the cords 3 hours ago if you don't suck my cock.
Don't yell for help. The bartender's in on it.
You know what's insane? That would work at least once.
I know. That's so bad.
If you did it enough, you would have to get kicked out of a lot of bars. You might even get arrested.
You might go to federal prison.
You'd have a bit of a rap sheet.
It's not gonna work 0 times if you do it enough.
Yeah.
There's some person out there would be like, slowly. Just the way he took control.
Yeah, right.
Well, I have a friend, one of my very good friends from my hometown. He's very much like that. He's also he's just like a guy who's very... he's not a rapist.
No, yeah, my good buddy, he rapes women.
But he's one of these guys who he'll go up to a girl and I've seen him just literally go up to a girl and look at her lips and then they start making out. And it's like, that's crazy to be able to just do that.
How attractive is this guy?
He's very attractive, but that's what's crazy about it is that you can just be at a point where you don't even have to. I've watched him legit not say anything to a girl, and then they just stare at each other, and then he just leans in and they start making. It's like that's such a different. That's like one of those kids that's 12 and can throw 115, and you're like, that's like a 115-mile fastball, and it's like, well, some of us have to go to the fucking minor leagues for a while.
I wonder how long that lasts though, because then you start getting older, and women become just inherently slightly harder to impress as they get older. It's like you have to be somebody who's interesting to talk to.
Yeah, that might work when you're 22.
Yeah.
But eventually,
I guess I also haven't seen him since I was probably 23, 24.
Yeah, these are the kind of guys that in high school, you'd have somebody who's doing all this stuff where he's a bully and is on top, whatever, the Letterman, quarterback of the team, that whole thing. And the parents always say well, yeah, you know what? They'll watch that kid in 10 years. He's going to be, working as a fucking garbage man. And then you go check on that guy, he's still killing it.
Oh, yeah,
that guy
he doesn't even have to talk to a girl.
Rick is still just hanging out with hot girls on boats, making a ton of fucking money. He wasn't a garbage man, Dad.
Yeah.
He actually, things went well.
This guy's he's a Marine sniper and a raider.
Yeah.
He's like a total psycho badass.
That's awesome.
So it's like, it is funny. He's like, oh yeah, he's like a top tier operator.
You forget that is how it works out sometimes, because that is the trope can be real sometimes. People peak. It's the high school hero. People peak. They end up in their hometown wearing their Letterman jacket when they're 30, 35, 40. They talk about the one game where they threw for 400 yards. Like that is such a trope because it is true. But we do forget that more often than we think, those guys also just take that confidence and become really successful people.
Yeah, they just open up a construction company.
Yeah,
and then they just
like worth like $1 million.
Yeah. They dominate, and then
all the high school friends and cool guy stuff that they just use that later in life to connections.
Their frat
and then
brothers
they're
are
just, their frat brothers are signing them contracts for $1 million jobs left, and then they're
even
just
their kids
doing
are
great.
Cool.
Yeah, it's a cycle.
Their kids are sheltered and
My
rich
kid is
and awesome.
also the starting quarterback now. It's just
And then you know they hold council at Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yeah,
they walk in and everybody's like, "Oh,
I will say
the
this,
Millers are here. The Millers."
Eventually, though, that guy does kill himself. So that's always the silver lining behind it all.
The one guy that I'm thinking of, there's a family that I'm specifically thinking of, and the dad is a very brutal alcoholic. And, and it's like
that's
the downside.
That's good.
Yeah, there's two of them. There's two options. Yeah, they either kill themselves or they become insanely horrific alcoholics who have like 3 DUIs within like 2 years.
Yeah,
which is fun. I had a cousin who got a DUI while he also had no license, and so he went to prison.
That's a crazy thought to think that.
I just got a license.
What?
I've been driving without a license since 2021.
Wow.
I just got a license last week.
What did it get suspended or something? Or
it expired. My California license expired. I never got a new one because when you let your license expire, you have to do a bunch of stuff. You have to, like, as if you're a 16-year-old. You have to take a written. You have to go through these like online classes, get these certifications, and you have to schedule and take a driving test. And I took the driving test last week, and I passed. Not by as much as you think, by the way. I was like, I've been driving for 17 years. I got this. No, you can lose 30 points. I lost 20.
Well, you learn a lot of bad habits when you become a real human driver and not like what the law wants. You know what I mean?
I was trying to do a bit about this where it's like, you like I know better, so I know what I do and don't do. So they're gonna be like, hey, let's see you parallel park on this incline. It's gonna be like, oh, no, I'll show you we're gonna drive to a parking garage. We're gonna pay $20 and we're gonna walk here.
Nah.
And but yeah, you know what's funny? I got an 80%, which is crazy. That's a B minus. I've been driving. Yeah. I'm 33. I've been driving for so long. I didn't pass by flying colors.
Yeah.
And a big part of it was that there's a bicyclist, which is not a variable that I should have to. But I didn't give him enough space. I cut him off because he was coming up to the stop sign I was at, so I went and cut him off so I could get to the stop sign.
You're just driving how you normally drive.
And then I lost a lot of points for that. She goes hey, they do have a right to the road, so you needed to treat him like a car. You wouldn't just do that to a car. And I was like, you ride a bicycle.
If a car was
you could tell that she was just. I'm like, what do you have, a Schwinn? What brand of bike?
Show this.
To be fair, if a car was going 8 miles an hour, I would go around it.
He was biking with flip flops on.
Yeah,
it was that kind of biker. Where I'm like,
if you have an aerodynamic helmet on, maybe I'll treat you like a car.
Yeah.
Right.
If you have flip flops on and there's a basket on your bike, I'm going around.
Yeah. If you have flip flops on, it's because you lost your license.
You have a DUI now. I got to respond. Yeah. If you don't have a USPS onesie on.
Yeah. If you're not shaving your arm hair for aerodynamic.
I wonder how I would do. How many points do you think that they would knock off for me checking my Instagram at a red light?
I think they'd make you turn around. I think they'd make you turn around.
You got to come back next week and do it again. I'm sorry.
Dude, Dean, our buddy Dean Stanfield, we called him out because he's on Instagram so much. We asked what his screen time was. And he was like, I don't know. And I was like, well, let's search it. And so we help him find where to search it. Dude, I've never seen anything like it. Because I was like, it's got to be high because he's always on Instagram.
Okay.
Over 9 hours a day screen time. Wow. Almost 5 hours a day Instagram.
Wow. Oh, no.
Was his average. I checked mine, I'm like 36 minutes.
Oh, I don't
really?
even.
I think actually less. That week, I think I was on it more. I'm like,
I don't want to look.
30. So where I'm getting to with that is, so we called Dean out on it. He was like, holy fuck, like this is bad. He's like, it's an anxiety, like all this stuff.
He told me, literally, I saw him last night and I checked my Instagram. He was like, man, get off of it.
Yeah.
And I was like,
he's turning a new leaf.
On, dude.
He's turning a new leaf. So then I'm helping him move. Like the next day, he was like really proud of himself. He sent me a screenshot, 90 minutes on the day, and it was like 4 p.m. So I was like, let's go, dude. Like, yeah, that's
great.
You should not be on your phone that much. And then the next day after that, I was helping him move, and he's driving like on a four-lane road, and he's got his phone up, and I was like, yo, come on, dude. Not while I'm in the car. I hate that shit. Do not check your phone while you're in the car. He was checking his screen time. And I was like, hey, you can't just substitute this with the new addiction of monitoring how good you're doing on screen time. We're fucking on the freeway. This is insane.
It's like
he was like,
getting
no,
off
buddy, I was checking my screen time. I'm like, I don't care what you were doing.
It's like getting off heroin on Suboxone. It's like, I guess you're still probably not doing great.
Yeah. And you love the Suboxone.
So funny, dude. To be checking your screen time while you're driving is so nuts. That's crazy. God bless him. Yeah. All right. We're at an hour. You want to keep going? What are you going to do?
Do we have a hard out at all?
No, you don't got a hard out, but I got a show at 7.
What show are you doing?
Frank's show, Frank Steele.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you can be late to that. I'll send him a note.
Does Frank live here now?
No, he comes back and forth.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Classic. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I think that. Do we want to keep going? I mean, we can an extra 5 minutes.
This whole
10
conversation's
minutes.
a momentum killer.
Yeah,
bringing up whether we should or shouldn't continue really doesn't quite steer us in the right direction. That's
listen.
for sure.
Whether we do or don't is totally up to you guys. But I'm here. Like, ask me anything you want. I'm here. Like, honestly,
do you play World of Warcraft?
No, I used to. I used to smoke meth and fucking do heroin and just run around as a warlock. Blasting senses failed. Just blasting senses failed. Just like the lady in a blue dress, and I'm just slashing crabs on meth. It was awesome.
This is so funny. This is such a deep cut that I don't. If you didn't, you have such warlock energy.
I was an undead warlock.
Oh, of course you were, dude. I could have guessed that. That's so good.
I'm a spellcaster by nature. I am a spellcaster by nature.
What do you think I was? It's so spot on.
Okay, hold on. Are you Horde or Alliance?
Alliance.
You were, of course you were, dude. Of course you were. Dwarf? You were a dwarf. Were you a dwarf paladin?
I was a dwarf hunter.
Yeah.
My name was Llonox. They auto-generate it.
Oh, okay.
Lonix of the East Shire.
I remember in that, like in RPG games where it's like you get to name your character and people just do like, to me, I was always way too serious about it. Where it's like, you can name yourself anything. You can name yourself Cum. You can name yourself just Matt, which is what a lot of people do. Mine would be like, no, I'm Draxus. Like in Pokemon, it's like, hello, Draxus. You're Charmander's, right?
That's good. I'm always and anytime I can name my own character, I'm just my name.
Really?
For somebody whose career is in a creative sphere, I lack imagination in so many ways. Put a pen and paper in front of me and be like, kill some time, doodle. You don't have your phone. You're in a locked room. I'm just going to draw my own name in bubble letters. I don't have like a thing like, what's your character's name? Matt.
Matt 123.
Yeah, Matt 24 probably. It's my favorite number.
Yeah. Did you do anything like before stand-up? Did you ever do anything artistic?
No. Not at all. I was a sports guy. I was the lead in my school play in 8th grade. It was only because I went to a very small school and they gave the major roles to the 8th graders, and there were 6 or 7 of us. So
what was the role?
I don't remember. You know what's really crazy? I memorized a whole play's worth of lines as the lead character, and I don't even remember what the play was about.
Dude.
Not only what it was called, nothing.
I did a play that I do remember. I don't remember what it was about, but I got cast. You could tell like I was a horrible student, but teachers always wanted to engage him and stuff. And it was always that thing where they're like, maybe if we just give him this, like, he'll rise to the occasion if we give him a lot of responsibility. And I never did. Yeah. So it was always just bombing with, they'd be like, let's give him this new like project where he gets to like manage some others, just everything. And I never came through. And also private school. Yeah. They don't do this at public school. This is a private school show.
At public school, they let you fail.
Yeah, they let you fail. Private school is just like, how do we reach him? So they cast me in a play because they were like, you're creative, do the play. And they cast me as God. Who else?
The backstory makes so much sense.
They cast me as God in a play. and I didn't learn any of my lines. Went up in front of the entire school and bombed the entire play. And my buddy stood in the back, and every time it was one of my lines, everybody on stage would like be looking at me, and I just couldn't help myself but see him in the back room. I'm like 8th grade, and I just like. And they would just have to move over my lines. It was like a horrific, catastrophic embarrassment and fail. I knew a few lines and then just blanked and just got the giggles every time everybody would look at me. And then they'd just move on and have to reply to like what I should have said.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I did
dude, that's fucking hilarious.
Crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I know.
And I was God. That's the best. It's just God not knowing.
You're like, it was a metaphor. The whole thing was a metaphor.
Yeah.
Me not
laughing with a beard on. Yeah. Just like, no, it's all a metaphor. Man plans, God laughs. That's what it's about. That's what I'm doing.
I had to do Shakespeare, and I still know some of it. But soft, what light through yonder window breaks, it is the east, and Julia, it is the sun. Arise, fair sun, and kill the envious moon, that thou art made are far more fair than she be not her maid, for she is envious. Her vestal livery is but sick and green, and none but fools do wear it. Cast it off. It is my lady, it is my love. Oh, that she knew she were. She speaks, yet she says nothing. What of that? Her eye discourse, I shall answer it until two of the fairest stars return to the twinkle
This
of
is
an
that
eye.
pussy getting word plays.
That's it.
Just Josh at the bar. Man, liken you to a Midsummer's Eve.
Oh, that's
I don't
good,
know why
dude.
that's stopped. I can keep going too.
We
which
memor-
is,
we-
I don't need to.
We
but I
had to
could.
memorize. There's a. I don't know if it's a poem. I forget what they call it, but it's called the Jabberwocky. Jabberwockies.
The dancers?
Yeah, it's not a
no,
poem.
that's what it's named after. It's a. It's like a.
It's a poem about Korean dancers?
Yeah. No, let me look
You
it
twist
up.
and you turn.
It's I forget what it's a. Jabbo. Well, that's.
But don't
not
we all wear masks?
Walkie poem.
Halloween's the one day of the year I don't wear a mask.
Yeah, it's called The Jabberwocky by Lewis Carroll. And it's a nonsense poem, is what it says. I don't know. Yeah.
Like a limerick?
What'd you do with this?
We just had to memorize it and then perform it. It's about a monster. So the thing, I think the reason the Jabberwockies have named it this is because it's like a multi-headed monster, I think. I don't know.
Yeah.
Similar to the Asians.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What the fuck did that mean?
No, it was about the Japanese Empire.
Yeah.
And it's all like shit like this. It's like words like this.
Just bomb with something racist is so funny.
Oh, freddled grunt bugly, thy micturations are to me as plurtled gabble blotches
Gabagool.
on a lurid bee group. I implore thee, my foonting turnling groans. And we were in 6th grade and we had to
I
memorize
would say
this.
you did that pretty well for a guy with a butt plug in his ass. Pretty good for a guy with a butt plug in his ass right now.
I took a whole class on. I took a whole class in college on William Blake.
Mm.
You guys, are you familiar? Oh,
No.
I don't even.
I heard he's very lively.
I don't need to get.
We've really talked a lot about authors today and books and stuff.
I did.
yeah.
What are we, nerds?
Did you? What do you think about Bukowski? You think he was right?
About what?
Just
Women?
Just
Chicks?
everything.
No, definitely
Chicks.
not.
I like Bukowski a lot. I like his books.
Yeah.
How often do you talk about liking Bukowski?
Not often.
Have you ever read Infinite Jest?
No.
Okay, good.
No, I didn't read
That's
the
a
the
different
pussy
thing.
getting books.
Is Infinite
think-
Jest is a pussy getting book?
I've heard this is like a tweet or something that was like every guy I fucked in college had an unread copy of Infinite Jest.
Yeah.
It's
I
one of
actually
those.
saw that recently. I had a friend, the only person I know who's read it would not stop talking about how
Yeah.
he would get brought up often.
Yeah, those books that are really like, I haven't ever read it, but I think I understand that it's very like dense and
It's
hard
very
to
dense.
understand. They're not good books. That's not good writing.
There are parts in the book where it will take you to an index that further describes a situation or a definition or something, and then you have you have to read that and go back. It is a very dense. Is it David Foster Wallace?
Yeah,
Wallace.
yeah.
David Foster Wallace. Yeah. Who is a guy, by the way, who was like alive until recently.
Oh,
right?
really?
Yeah, like you think these big books are like this. If he was alive recently, I don't want to read his book.
What about?
Nicholas Sparks, I was going to tell you, he's still alive.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's
no.
still around.
As I Lay Dying. Have you ever read that?
Yeah, dude.
Who the fuck wrote that?
Faulkner.
William Faulkner.
I read it recently, and I read a lot. Like
it's insane.
I'm brilliant, and I was reading that, and dude, Miles nailed it. We were talking about that book, and he's like, dude, you read that and you just feel so dumb. He's like, you're like 50 pages into this scene, and then you're just like, oh wait, there's like 8 people here.
Yeah,
I thought it was just 2 people talking.
The narrator is a fuck. Yeah, at certain points, the narrator is
Sucks ass.
Yeah, there's a.
Wait, what book is this?
As I Lay Dying by William Faulkner.
And it switches perspectives, and one of the people he goes into the perspective of is a man who is undiagnosed with some type of special.
He's a mentally retarded guy.
He's a mentally retarded guy, and I'll never forget in in my class, my Faulkner class, we were going over that book and his character. And she was like, so what do you guys think that he would have? And people were like raising their hands, and people was like, maybe like he's like severely autistic. Somebody was like, I think maybe it could be like some type of bipolar disorder where he's bad at communication. And then my professor was like, listening, and then she went, no, he's retarded. It was
that's a good teacher.
He's
so
wrong. You're
funny.
wrong. He's fully retarded.
He's what we would call a mental retard.
Fully retarded guy. Yeah.
Because he's got that famous line where he's like trying to understand death, the concept of death, because his mother, he's like a 20-something-year-old, and his mother died in front of him, and he doesn't understand what happened at all. And he's talking about like, what is it? Like, I am fish. Do we know what I'm talking about? It's like the fish is me and I am fish or something like that. And it's like this thing, and we spent like, I'm not kidding, we spent like 3 weeks dissecting that one line on a class. And I went, if this is what he is as an author, I'm out.
There's so many books. There's so many really good books that you don't have to do
I also don't even believe all of that stuff. I think like I remember being in middle school, and we were reading a book, and it was like, I remember we were breaking down the color of the drapes that were described, and it was the drapes were described as blue because blue is often used to describe depression, and this book takes place during the Great Depression, but they haven't revealed that yet. And I was like, maybe he was just describing what the room looked like. Maybe Animal Farm is just about animals. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not. Animal Farm's about animals.
I was going to say, that's one of the most heady books.
Maybe it's just about animals having a tough time at the farm.
Maybe it's not about communism.
Maybe it's not about the future of our country, okay? Yeah. I don't believe all that. I agree. I think we give like these dead people who have written these books way more credit than they deserve sometimes.
I also think sometimes conscious efforts do get put into thought. You know what? There are sometimes where
but
it is.
It's like, have you ever seen a video? Like I watched these TikToks recently. It happened a lot when this was happening. But people would break down Kendrick Lamar's like verses, and it's like there's the obvious disses in there, and there's the subtle undertones. But then
there's the triple entendre.
There's triple entendre on top of triple entendre, and then it elaborates, and then it's giving foreshadowing to his future booking at the Super Bowl, and then he got booked for the Super Bowl. And then he was on the 50-yard line, and 50 means that, and it's just like this whole thing, and I'm like, I just don't know if he thought all of that through.
He's not Da Vinci coding his
He's writing really good bars, and his new album's great.
It's awesome.
It's really good. But I don't think that during the Super Bowl announcement commercial, he was like, nah, but you got to understand, we got to be on the 50-yard line. No, y'all will get it later. Y'all will get it later.
You know what? I think he would.
I
think specifically Kendrick would. Now I think there's other people who wouldn't.
Yeah.
Like I think that if Kodak somehow ended up like there'd be
That's
zero
a guy
chance.
worth dissecting.
Yeah.
What did he mean when he said,
I'm sick of rappers talking about farting.
My name Kodak Black, but when you see me, I'm
white.
When you see me, I'm white.
He has so many bars where he's like, I'm this shit, I'm farting. And it's like, quit talking about farts and rap.
I couldn't agree more.
I hate this. I hate
like
when
this.
women do it the most. Is like
think you're the shit, you ain't even the fart.
Think you're the shit, you ain't even the fart. It's so gross for a woman with that fat of an ass.
Because she's taking cow dumps.
You know she's just destroying every pipe she's ever laid on.
There's no good there that Their diet has to be horrific.
No, it's so many McNuggets, and that's racist to say, but she can have as many as she wants.
Is that a racist thing?
I think lower economic classes just tend to enjoy fast food.
Well, she's a millionaire.
Well, that's the way it was designed.
I know, but that doesn't. Yeah.
You know that we've talked about this already, but the McDonald's changed their small to so the medium is no longer medium. It's regular.
Yeah. Oh, I smell a classic Josh Francis bit coming along.
No. This is gonna be
but a come and go.
But a come and go. And it's like, what is this? Was this named by a man? Because you know what?
Come and cuddle.
Come back to bed. Maybe a come and so. What does this make us, baby? Give me the monster voice. And, but the what were we just talking about? Oh, McDonald's changed their sizes to regular instead of medium, so that way when you go through the drive-through, they go. It's a fucking form of word manipulation. It's like manipulation of psychoanalyze. They psychoanalyzed. I can't remember the exact term. Some guy who's very smart worded it better than I am. But essentially, you associate regular. When somebody says regular, they're going, "Do you want a regular size?" And you think to yourself, "Well, yeah, I don't want anything too much." And you're thinking it's a small based off of what your own like predisposition is to the word regular. So you go, "Yeah, I'll take a regular," and that upcharges you like $1 per menu item.
That's actually kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
So that sucks.
That actually
regular, because regular and default are somewhat synonymous.
Right.
So I'd say this is in the loadout.
And so you would think, do you want? You go, yeah, I'm gonna get I want an ice cream cone. They go, okay, do you want a regular size? And then you go, yeah. Well, yeah. I don't want I'm not like a pig.
But also I don't want a small. Give me the regular.
Give me the regular
that I would
size.
imagine is included.
Yeah, and it's just what they call medium.
Well, how military are you when you order food? Do you call it your loadout? Or do you call it selecting?
I go, yeah. I'll.
Can I customize my loadout?
Yeah,
can we upgrade the attachments on this?
Yeah,
I'm
gonna upgrade the attachments.
Do I have enough coin to upgrade the attachments?
I got backup in here, so I'm gonna need a second order. Stand by for that second order.
Yeah.
Any vehicle. This is 206 radio check over.
That doesn't mean anything.
201.
Making it up.
201. This is 206.
Josh was actually only in the ROTC.
I got you, Lima Charlie.
Were you an ROTC guy?
I was not. I wish I would have went. If I didn't do comedy, I think I would have ended up back up in the military. I think there's no route.
100% would have.
There's no route in which I would just go be a teacher, like what the original plan was. Well,
that's what you were gonna be.
So actually,
wait for this. This is even.
When I was getting out of the Marines, me and my buddies, we all met and did the LAPD recruits really heavy out of Camp Pendleton because you're right there, and they offer like $110,000 a year, and you get like a $60,000 signing bonus to be a cop. And really? I did everything for it. My life trajectory. I got out. I had a date to go to the academy for LAPD. I'm gonna cycle on steroids. I'm gonna shave my head. I'm gonna get jacked with my boys. They all fucking went. I have friends that just went straight into the LAPD. I was going to do that. The girl I was dating called me and was like, "What if you just like went to community college for like one semester before you did that and just see if you like it?" And then I did, and then I went, yeah. And then I went, and I was like, there's no way. The second I broke like the spell, I was like, oh, that's nuts that I was considering that.
You just like almost fell into like a groove.
Yeah, it was like,
this
logically.
is what we all are doing. And then as soon as you
circle.
That's like sobriety gets like that, where it's like you get sober, let's work in a rehab. And then it's like, I want to work my way up at this rehab. And I know people now with like a decade sober, and they own a halfway house, they own a rehab, they run it, they're in admissions, and they make good. But that's just the groove you become. And then luckily I like jetted out of that, and then I was like, oh, okay, I want to do something else.
In a parallel universe, I've gotten stabbed many times.
In a parallel universe, you've committed crimes that have been recorded and posted on TikTok.
I would be such a spaz.
I've watched them at night with two Zins in my mouth. Like, I can't believe this guy violated his rights.
Like, destroys my phone when I'm filming you, and it's like, you can't do that. Like, and I asked your last name and badge number. It's like, go fuck yourself. That's my badge number.
My badge number.
Like, dude, this is unconstitutional.
I would spit at people.
Also, so easy to describe.
That guy. Well, I used to do a bit when I was like brand new about like not being able to be a serial killer because of my red hair. Because it's like you get caught once, and then the nickname would just stink. Like you get one wave of like if the media
the
gets
freckle-faced rapist. That's
yeah. We think he's attacking his victims at night. There's no way. And the sun can't. And I'm just getting bullied. I'm like, no, dude. I'm like trying to kill people by the river. I'm like, no, I'm the river killer. I'm not the fucking freckle-faced killer.
I wondered if the Rainy Street Killer is getting upset because he's killing these guys. And they're just like, yes, he's some kind of gay rapist. And he's like, the fuck no, I'm killing bros.
He's like, I'm a murderer. Yeah, I'm like a badass guy. And they're like, he rapes gay guys.
He's a gay rapist. That's almost the best way to. We should just bully the we should just bully the serial killers.
I agree.
Because it's like
we can base our assumption on the trauma that he actually has a very small penis.
If you heard everybody's wives are calling in. I think my husband. I think my husband's killing people on 7th. I think that. I think that. I don't know. I think. Yeah, I think that was my one trajectory, and then I went to community college, and I was like, I went and got certified to be a coach. I was gonna get into football coaching, and
did you play ball?
I played high school for 2 years, and then I didn't really. I think the older I've gotten, the more I've really started to. I don't know if appreciate's the right word, but I like really love football now. And I used to.
You like football as much as anybody.
I used to not care for it that much when I was playing it, but my team was also 1-9 and 2-8.
Yeah.
So it's like when I played, we would just get the dog shit kicked out of us by these teams. We were in 4A, but we were the smallest school in 4A. So we were going up against kids who I played against Alan Lazard, who's like, been in the league, and they would just smoke check us. And then your coach gets mad and he's like, why the fuck are we getting blown out 64-0? And then we do hills all day. And then it's like, well, we fucking are getting blown 64-0 because it's fucking, we're going up against a 6'3".
He's about to be a Packer.
Yeah, I'm 115 pounds. Dude, what do you mean?
One of the most embarrassed I've ever been is they had me play cornerback. I only ever played in middle school, but they had me play cornerback, and the first 3 opening offensive drives from the opposite team was the same play, streak route from the guy I was defending,
straight to
put
you.
it in his hands, touchdown. They went up 21-0 in 3 plays to us, and it was all my fault, and I had to get pulled. And again, all the girls were there. All the girls were there. That's the same year that I played God and didn't learn my lines.
To be fair, I'll tell you this much. My senior year, we made it to state in basketball. I balled my ass off. I had the most points in the game, championship game. We came back from like a 10-point deficit at half and won.
Yeah.
And I still got no pussy that night.
Really?
So don't worry about those touchdowns,
what did you
brother.
look like in high school? Do you have that?
A lot much different. Yeah.
Can we see that?
I could give you something. I could give you something.
He used to have flippy hair.
Close. Yeah, I used
to
have
rob people for heroin.
With
Cut it
flippy hair. Oh, that sucks. Hey, give me all your money.
He's got a bit about
it's
it.
literally my joke.
That's a funny bit. You
still
do it.
It is. I do. I just don't do it that often.
Yeah, that's very funny.
It's too good.
Some
things are too good.
Dude, I just brought. Matt will know the joke I'm talking about, but I used to have a joke that I did like 2 years ago, maybe, or when I did longer sets, I just had to fill time about living next to Amish community growing up and how chlamydia went around in the Amish community, which did happen. And so I talk about that, and then the punchline is insane. It's me going, and then she drips all over the cottage. Yeah. And then the dog licks it up.
Why does it burn when I turn butter?
Yeah. And then the dog licks up. That's how you get chihuahuas. And I was like, that's kind of a funny idea, talking about that really happened in my hometown area. Yeah. So I'll talk about the chlamydia thing. And so I went into the old bit, but now that I'm a better comic, I was crushing. And then I go into that, and then it was all of a sudden I was just a different guy for one bit for the worst punchline ever. The worst punchline of what is it?
That's freshman year of college. That's right after
God.
I grad. That's right after I. So don't scroll because that's actually a pretty sad post, but that's a good. That's a good.
Can I see?
No, I mean if you want to see it, it's a sad post. So, but yeah, that's me.
And you're wearing, you know what's funny? You're wearing a Tyler's Austin, Texas shirt.
Yeah, I am. Are you sending that to yourself? Be honest.
No,
I don't believe you at all.
Foreshadowing.
Yeah, that was it.
I'm gonna scroll. I've seen. Oh, I know. This is.
Yeah, I mean it's a sad post,
dude.
But yeah, dude. I was a much different guy. I don't think it's really focused. Oh yeah, there you go. You can't turn it too much because I have my privacy screen. But
that's pretty good.
Yeah, man, that's what I look like.
The kind of work you do? That's pretty good.
What?
No, just for socials and stuff. It's good.
Okay.
Good you have that.
Yeah.
Yeah. You compliment a guy and then they get weird. It doesn't make sense. That's a cool gadget.
The reason that I have it is because I will read.
the screen protector.
I will read other people. If you're near me, I don't really do it like you guys, but like if I'm in public and I'm on a plane and somebody next to me is texting,
oh, dude, I love snooping.
I read it every single time, and I don't want people to be able to do that to me.
Yeah, and if it's a girl, I'm full.
I read through a gap in a plane one time. This girl freaking out because she got a UTI, but she didn't want to tell her mom because her mom would assume she had sex, and that's how she got the UTI, and her mom would be mad. And I watched her have like a breakdown over text with her friend, and it was like for like 20 minutes. I just watched her text.
Wow.
And I don't want somebody to be able to do that to me.
Yeah, no. That sucks.
Yeah.
You ever watch a movie on a plane and you're watching it's like sex stuff?
Yeah.
It's so uncomfortable every fucking time.
Yeah, especially the part where you come is really tough.
It's crazy. Yeah. When you have to like wipe up and you're like, oh God,
sorry,
everybody's
guys.
next to me and everybody saw it.
Everybody's covered.
Everybody's covered. It hits you black.
Everybody's so frosted by my
Dude, that's the thing. People hate to see. There's two things that people hate to see. People hate to see a young man get money, and they hate to see me come on a plane again.
Yeah.
Dog, I've been saying this for a while. You get to heaven, all right? There's 2 guards, each guarding a door, all right? One got the pussy, one got the weed. Which door do you pick?
Wait, do we have Monopoly Go? Can we break out a board game? Well, our new section.
The pussy door or the weed door?
We got we got a new segment here where we just play Mancala.
Do you know what Mancala is?
No, I know it by name, but
I don't know it either.
Mancala, my butthole in your face.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was.
Mancala, my butthole on your face isn't even a Cala's not like a verb.
Man, call a bitch over
There
here.
you go. There you go.
Man, call
guys
my
wanna play
mom. I'm
Mancala?
scared. I want to go home.
Man, call up my mom.
Call up your
right?
mom's. Have a sit on this dick.
Hey, all right. Well, thank you guys so much for checking out the Friendly Fire podcast. Spencer, do you have anything you want to plug?
No.
My butthole, maybe?
Yeah.
Follow Spencer on
butthole.
Instagram
Asshole.
at Spencer Cavins, Cavins. Thank you guys so much.